Jade Cargill has upset WWE fans yet again, or should I say, weird WWE fans, because her latest comments have her in the headlines yet again. This is a common theme with Jade Cargill. She always knows how to find headlines. Now, in this video, we're going to be looking at her comments made on a recent interview because I will say this, and I give WWE a lot of credit for this, and I hope to see more of this. They've started to send her out and do more interviews and more press, obviously leading up to her SummerSlam match with women's champion Tiffany Stratton. They sent her out a lot. This is a high profile match for her. And as we all know, WWE opted to not pull the trigger, not put the belt on Jade Cargill. I'll get to that more in a minute. But this is a good sign to see Jade Cargill go out there and talk with media because it shows that WWE still has a lot of confidence in her, despite the fact that they booked her to lose to Tiffany Stratton. And when she first signed with WWE, she did that. She went out there and did a lot of media for the company, which I appreciate. And it shows a different side. And it not only at the time, but now it allows fans to get to know Jade Cargill. And I think that's important to note because it leads us into today's video because she did a recent interview on the Club 520 podcast. It was a very, very good podcast interview. And she was asked about how the women's locker room in WWE reacted to her signing. Okay. Keep in mind that she signed with the company in the fall of 2023. It was a massive deal because she was the second only AEW star to make the jump to WWE following Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes found a ton of success once he went to WWE. And that's important to note because WWE made it clear, hey, if you leave AEW for WWE, even though you were from the rival promotion, Vince McMahon at the time, now Triple H, they're not going to punish you. They're going to push you as strongly as possible. And she revealed that it was actually all love from her peers because of a certain reason. And this is where fans got a little outraged because she knew she was going to be a legend. Here we go. So this is what she had to say. In regards to the locker room reaction to her arrival, she said it was all love. They wanted to work with me. They knew that I came here to get better. They knew that I came here to be a legend. Like there's nothing else. There's no other place that I'm going to become a legend. And they want to help me as much as possible because they want to do nothing but elevate the women's locker room. Okay. There's a second part to this interview, which I'll get to in a second, but let's touch upon the outrage for a minute because, well, that's the reason why you clicked on this video. We might as well talk about it, right? Do I believe that the women in the WWE locker room were very open and welcoming to Jade Cargill when she first signed with the promotion? I do, because I think talent represents talent, and I think talent acknowledges talent. You want to work with top tier stars because not only does it bring notoriety to the company, which will boost your bottom line, but it will also boost your star power. Okay. That's just it. Everyone that gets into the wrestling business, you want to be the biggest star possible because you get more opportunities, you get more push, and you get more money. That is the name of the game of pro wrestling. Am I right? So if you're a fellow talent in WWE, you see Jade Cargill come in there, you could be jealous. You could be resentful and, oh, well, why is this chick coming in here? Why would they do this? Why would they bring her in? Or you can go, hey, this is a great opportunity to use someone like Jade Cargill to either elevate my status or show that WWE was wrong with her, but we're going to see. We're going to find out. So that, from a locker room standpoint, totally understand. The legend comment, some people are going to roll their eyes and be like, look, you can have those goals, you can have that ambition, but like you haven't really done anything in WWE. I would push back on that. I would push back on that because if you look at what WWE has been able to do with her, they have simply capitalized on every single thing that she did in AEW. In AEW, she was pushed as a notable star. She was a long reigning dominant TBS champion. They pushed her as much as you could with someone being that green. Okay. So if you were that green and you were pushed to that level, I would say that she had a very, very good run there. Now, here's another thing. If you look at what she was able to do in WWE, just thus far, I would say you have to be impressed with that because you took a green star who didn't have a lot of experience, and you opted to give her the biggest push of her career. If you look at it from a growth standpoint, okay, so in AEW, they kept her as the traditional heel, the monstrous, just jobbing out people, just smashing people. Dave Bautista's talked about this in the past, and he's actually not Jim Cornette for doing this in OVW, which was he felt like Jim Cornette did not give him the ability to grow as a performer. He couldn't sell, he couldn't show his persona, he couldn't cut, dynamic promos. It was very, very black and white, simple, and he felt like his growth was stunted, right? Well, you could make the argument that to a certain degree, Jade Cargill was getting to that point, and so when WWE signed her, she goes, "Oh, okay, well, I did all of this in AEW. That was kind of like the building blocks. That was the foundation, if you will, of this character, of this gimmick." And so in WWE, let's expand that, right? So instead of being a heel, I'm going to be a babyface. Instead of being a dominant star who kind of has shorter matches and one-sided matches in which I dominate, I'm going to have longer matches. I'm going to sell and I'm going to be vulnerable to in order to learn and grow and get better as a pro wrestler, right? I'm going to show my personality more. I'm going to be paired with Bianca Belair. In WWE, instead of throwing her right into the deep end of being a single star and potentially facing the feedback and the backlash and the criticism of, hey, they signed this chick and they pushed her to the moon and she's not worthy of this push, and she's gonna get overexposed, just wait, you'll see, kind of thing. They said, no, let's put her with Bianca Belair, let's put her with a baby face, let's make her a baby face, let's show the fans what she has, let's show the fans her personality, let's show the fans why you may actually like this woman, right? She's just not like a monstrous robotic type personality. She's got some charisma, and we want to show you that. In WWE, they gave her that opportunity, and to Jade Cargill's credit, she absolutely crushed, right? And so I think that's worthy of a discussion. I think that's worthy of praise for Jade Cargill and being able to go out there and do what she does best, which is own the room, right? Like that's what it is. She owns the room. Now, I will say this. Do I think everyone welcomed her with open arms? No, I do not. I think you're always going to piss someone off. You're always going to upset someone. Not everyone is going to like you type thing. That's okay. That's life. But I think for the majority, Jade Cargill has won over a lot of people.